comes down to career negotiation, the challenge is that if you have a strong focus on relationship, you may ask yourself, well, you know, I'm really getting along well with my boss. Am I taking a risk to ruin the relationship by asking for more money or not? And then more often than not, you decide, well, no, let me not take the risk. And then you don't ask for what you want. Second element, believing more than external circumstances influence our life. So let's say women are more likely to accept, okay, certain things are not possible, while women are more likely to say, well, let me give it a try. For instance, you know, the person on the HR tells you, sorry, it's company policy, it's not going to be person to do it. A woman is more likely to reply, okay. A man is more likely to reply, who can approve a deviation to the policy? You know, they will give it a try, even if it's more difficult. The third, very important topic is stereotypes. And I think, you know, looking at the poster that you have on the wall, you know, I'm sure that the topic of stereotypes has been, no, these are my poster, but, you know, the kind of poster that you see organized by the Women in Business Club. And a very important stereotypes relating to the career negotiation is the one that men are considered self-oriented and women are considered others-oriented. What does this mean? Is that whenever a man asks for more money, is normal. You will expect a selfish man to ask for more money for him. Whenever a woman asks for more money, then he breaks the stereotypes. It's how come that she's asking for something for her? And not only this may create some discomfort with the other person, it also may lead to the other person not to hire you. Otherwise stated, there is a backlash effect that whenever a woman asks and breaks the stereotype, the person says, well, I'm not really sure if this is the type of person I want to have in my team. And then they may decide not to go forward. So, you know, there is a double punishment for women. When they don't ask, they don't get it, and if they ask, they dare to lose the job. That's why, you know, probably a number of women have felt those type of differences and decided not to ask. So, you know, it's not that it's only an individual choices. There are a number of cultural and societal barriers which makes it more difficult for women to ask for what you want and what you desire. By the way, you know, the stereotype may also work in the opposite direction. For instance, whenever a woman asks for more time for taking care of the kids, is normal. Whenever a man asks for more time to take care of the kids, then is seen as a wimp. So, you know, stereotypes work both ways, but, you know, in the field of salary negotiation, they work to the disadvantage of women. Relationship towards money. Men are more likely to be focusing more on money. Women tend to have a broader set of interests, so money may not come as the biggest priority in their mind. Less access to information. Let me clarify this one. We all know that information is made of publicly available information and information which is hidden, which is only available to a limited number of people. Mm-hmm. The challenge is that women tend to relate more with women and men tend to relate more with men. If there is a new position of sales director which is becoming available, recognizing that the more senior people are men, who is likely to have access to this information ahead? The boys' club or the girls' club? And then as a result, maybe the job is filled before even the information is publicly available. Relying on fairness and hard work. I think that's a common one. Women are more likely to say, you know, I'm going to keep working hard, I'm going to do a great job, and I'm sure my boss will recognize that, you know, I'm doing a great job and that I deserve it. And the reality is that, you know, there are a few visionary job bosses that recognize your hard work and voluntarily come to you and say, you know, do you want something? And most of the bosses are not that nice. Actually, I was even talking to a female boss, senior person, and she told me, you know, as much as I care about the women cause, it happened to me that I had in my team a very good female performing woman that never asked me for anything, and a good performing man that was always asking and was threatening me somehow to leave if something didn't happen. So, you know, when I had to decide to whom to allocate my limited budget for race, I ended up giving more money to the men that was complaining rather than to the women that deserved it more. There is a saying in English, the squeaking wheel gets the oil. Valuing ourselves less. Now, we talk about the fact that the women at same qualification tend to consider themselves that they have less money. It is even more dangerous because it may also relate to the way you apply for jobs. What I mean is the following. You look at the job ads, a woman is likely to say, well, I have only 80% of the qualification. I cannot apply for this job because they ask fluent German and my German is only good, and they ask for expertise in an SAP. I worked for 2 or 3 years, but I'm not really an expert. Same type of situation, the man will say, well, I've already 60% of the qualification, that's the perfect job for me, let's go for it. So, as you're going for the job search, don't be too strict on yourself. Even if you don't have all the qualification, you can indeed dare to go for it. The worst that can happen is that they don't give you the job. We are in a male-dominated society. That's, you know, from the origins. At the beginning, you know, the men were hunting and going out and doing the job, and the women were staying at home to take care of the kids. Physical strength was indeed a factor in the early ages. Now with technology, you know, physical strength doesn't play a role anymore. However, you know, we have inherited a society where women have already, you know, a disadvantage, where a number of the senior jobs are taken by male, and it's going to take a while to make this change. If I think about the country where I'm living, is Switzerland, you know when women got the right to vote? 1971. So I can imagine that when I was born, the women didn't even have the right to vote. I mean, that looks crazy to me. But you know, that's in Saudi Arabia was only last year. But I was in Saudi Arabia last week, and you know, the situation in Saudi Arabia for women is far from being attractive. But you know, that's a bit away from the topic. Okay, so these are some of the possible reasons for the difference. Now, what